Alright, guys, so this is going to be my Week 2 NFL predictions. Yes, we're still doing these. Why? Because I fucking can. That's why. It's nice to do something outside of my normal cultural norms. So, let's get started with our first. In Week 1, I know everyone's like, this is what I love about football fans, is that Week 1 is like a gauge for, like, everyone thinks like Week 1 is like the end-all be-all, like, oh yeah, we're going to the Super Bowl because we won one fucking game, or oh no, our team sucks because we lost one fucking game in the first week, which is basically preseason part 2. It's really hard to gauge a team until, like, game 3 or 4. Like, it's really hard to gauge a team after until like we hit week 4, like really week 4, week 5ish. So yeah, but having said that, let's jump on in with our first game, and this is going to be a great Thursday night game. Straight up, I'm excited. This is going to be a great one. We have the San Diego, the LA Chargers, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs put on a clinic against the Cardinals, but it is the Cardinals who clearly overpaid Kyler Murray. And you have the Chargers who didn't charger up their loss. I'm kind of excited by this. This is going to be a great game. Both teams looked very high offense. The defense on the Charger side looked a little anemic at points. I am going to go against the grain and give it to the Chargers. I just think Justin Herbert is just going to give that Chiefs defense fits, and I do think that the Chargers defense is just going to get at Mahomes over and over again. This could go either way, but I am going to give this to the Chargers. Next up, we have the New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are without T.J. Watt for the next 6 weeks, and they're also without Najee Harris. Their offense is pretty weak, but that defense, even without Watt, is pretty powerful. Like, it is a very powerful offense. I think and also, god damn, did the Patriots just look so bad. Like, it's very clear who's, like, Matt Patricia was a shit pick to call offensive plays. I am going to give this to the Steelers. I was surprised by the upset, but then again, that was a close one. And the defense is going to carry the Steelers to a lot of surprise wins, and I do think they are going to give... That defense is just going to be savage. Absolutely savage to Mac Jones. Next up, we have the Panthers and the New York Giants, which blows my mind that they won against the Titans. So this is why it's a little hard to do predicting, because sometimes this will, like, all of week 1 will happen. So, Panthers, you lost a heartbreaker when the refs didn't call a clear pass interference call, and yeah, I think Brian Dable is a good head coach. I think he showed that in how he's managed to do the Giants here. It's really hard to gauge this one, but I'm going to give this one to the Panthers. I just think the luck's going to run out, and Baker Mayfield and the rest of the Panthers are just going to have their way with the Giants, honestly. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Jets. Yeah, Browns are going to be euphoric because you're going to be 2-0. Yeah, the Jets are still the Jets. Let's be real. There's no way around it. Like, the Jets are gonna jet, and the Browns, even with Jacoby Brissett, still, like, we have to remember that, like, even if they don't have their sexual offender playing until week 11, it's still got a lot of high-powered offense behind it, like Nick Chubb, obviously, and yeah, even Jacoby Brissett is not a bad QB. So I will say that the Browns are going to go 2-0, and Cleveland's going to be absolutely euphoric because this is a rarity. Anyway, so let's move on to the Colts and the Jaguars. Ugh, man, the AFC South is a fucking joke, and I understand that I'm a Titans fan, so how do you think I feel? Jaguars lost, and the Colts tied. There's no winner in the AFC South. Having said that, though, I am going to give this to the Colts. They wavered Rodrigo Blankenship, who I was like, yeah, you should have got rid of him sooner. And the Jaguars, yeah, it's the Jaguars, but the Colts, yeah, I do think it is good. I think the Colts are going to be show that they're a real threat here. Watch this; they'll tie again, and with the Jaguars. Next up, we got a really intriguing game between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore did what they had to do and pretty much made the Jets their bitch for a good few quarters. Dolphins did the same thing to the Patriots, but they're basically the Patriots' kryptonite at this point. Both teams have some major firepower behind them. I do think that this is going to be interesting. I think this is going to be a very defense-heavy game. Tua does have a lot of questions, and this is going to be I think this is going to be the real game to really gauge is Tua up for it now that he has Tyreek Hill and some great weapons behind him. This is a tough one. This is going to be usually I have a really good idea of who is going to be a good which one is going to be good out of the two, but this one is a tough one. I'm gonna give this to the Ravens. I just think that Lamar Jackson is gonna have a lot more. I think he's gonna have a really good game behind him, and the Ravens, if they can stay healthy, could take the division. They could take their division. Anyway, so moving on to the Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. I'm gonna give this one to the Saints. Because, as we've seen, they are flat out just Tom Brady's kryptonite. And not only that, they are out. Buccaneers don't have Chris Godwin. They do not have. Some other key pieces on offense. Julio Jones looks like he looked winded, and that was just an ugly game. And I understand it's week. Like I said earlier, it is week 1, but it was an ugly game, and they won ugly in that game. And now you're coming in with a Saints team that has a defense that is just Brady's nightmare. So I'm going to give this one to the Saints. Moving on now to the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. Lions fought back hard against the Eagles, and they lost in a heartbreaker. And the Commanders won their game in surprising fashion. But then again, I did give it to the Commanders over the Jaguars. I'm going to give this, however, to the Lions. I think they showed a lot of improvement here, and I also have this feeling that Carson Wentz is going to Wentz it up. I just have this feeling that that the Commanders are just gonna let Carson Wentz, go from, we had really good Carson Wentz in the first game, now we get to see the real Carson Wentz in the second game, because that's what we know Carson Wentz to be. So my gut is telling me Lions. I just think they've made some major improvements, and this is where we're really gonna see, obviously they took it to the Eagles, who have improved vastly, but I am gonna give this one to the Lions, but it could easily swing in the way of the Commanders. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks taking on the 49ers. What the fuck was that Monday night game? No, really, what the fuck was that Monday night game? I have no words for that. I really don't. 49ers, I understand that, that was Trey Lance's opener, and it was in the pounding rain, so obviously your terrain's that's not the best opener. But the Seahawks really show they have a really strong defense, and Geno Smith looked like an MVP. But then again, that's like I said earlier, that's what it feels like every week 1. Oh yeah, our team's going to the Super Bowl after one win in week 1. Who knows? So this is, I feel like, I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. This is going to be at their home field. The 49ers are probably are healthy still, and weather permitting, I think they're just going to be dangerous, and also Geno Smith is probably going to go full Geno Smith. Next up, we have the Falcons taking on the Rams. Man, that Bills-Rams game was a slaughter, really. It'd be a real shame if someone, it'd be a real shame for whoever has to play them in week 2. Ah, Atlanta, how nice of you to walk into them. They're going to take all that anger on that premiere out on you big time. They are going to just Atlanta may make a massive head start and just proceed to just run away with the game and blow it. Because that's what we know the Falcons are. They'll probably have a strong lead and then blow it, so I am going to give this one to the Rams. Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Raiders. Raiders lost in a heartbreaker against the Chargers, and the Cardinals just look bad. Cardinals still look pretty bad. Raiders look pretty strong despite, some mess-ups on defense, and their offense looked eh. But then again, my gut says Raiders on this one. I just don't think the Cardinals looked good, and I don't think they're going to play well against this Raiders team. I think this is also we'll see how these two coaches, because they're Josh McDaniels and Cliff Kingsbury just suck as coaches. Anyway, moving on now to the Texans and the Broncos. Man, that was a bad intro for Nathaniel Hackett, or is now being called Nathaniel Can't Hack It. This is going to be, if they lose to the Texans, I'm just going to say Nathaniel Hackett should just quit. He should just be fired if he can't win against the Texans of all teams. Broncos looked bad. Melvin Gordon, the team just could not score at the end. There's a self-deprecating joke, but from respect for myself, I'm just going to overlook it. But yeah, I'm going to give this one to the Broncos, but like I said, if you lose to the Texans, you may as well just quit and, ask Seahawks if they want their trades back, if they can have a trade back. So, moving on to our next game, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys, your season's just over. You looked pathetic. Even before Prescott got injured. You guys look straight up like ass. And now that you don't have Dak Prescott, and you've got injuries all across your defense, and you still have Mike McCarthy coaching your team, you're not going anywhere. Bengals, they just lost in, poor and bad kicking, which seemed to be going around in the NFL this week. So I'm going to give this one to the Bengals. Yes, they lost to the Steelers, but I think the Bengals are going to be just angry, and also I'm pretty sure they're the Cowboys have just lost all of their fangs. They have just been declawed week 1. So, next up is our Sunday night game, and it is the Bears and the Packers, which the Bears made a massive upset against the 49ers, and the Green Bay Packers were humiliated, by the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, this is where I think this is going to change different, because Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, and I think that that rain ain't going to be around for this game, and you're also looking at a very Rodgers mad, Rodgers smash puny Bears. I'm going to give this one to the Packers. Everyone was panicking, it's the end of after they lost the Minnesota Vikings. It's we lost and our team sucks. What happened? It's week 1. Get the fuck over yourself. Anyway, so there's our Sunday night. Now we move on to a doubleheader for Monday night, and that starting off, we have my Tennessee Titans taking on the Buffalo Bills, and yeah, what the fuck was that game, guys? Unfortunately, I am going to give this to the Buffalo Bills. They just look like they just destroyed the Rams, and they look like they are going to just run away with the AFC at this point. It's week 1, but I know I've been saying it's just week 1, get over yourselves, but at the same time, what they did to the Rams made me go, it's all just games for week 1, but the Bills though, they have something to prove, and I think they're going to prove it on the Titans. Then again, every other time I've said this, I think the Titans are going to lose the Bills. The Titans suddenly pull off a astonishing win and just humiliate the Bills. So who knows? Maybe that'll happen this time. Like every time I said, "Oh, I love my Titans, but I don't think they have a chance against the Bills," and then they beat the Bills. That's happened twice in a row. So who knows? Maybe if I say the Bills win, maybe it'll jinx them, and my Titans can win. Yay! And then we have, this is a game I'm really excited for. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Eagles. Both the Vikings and the Eagles coming away with excellent wins, and both teams in the NFC that improve the most, in my opinion. This is going to be a really cool one. I am really excited for both this, this game and like the Titans Bills game. But this is the one I'm like, this is the real litmus test to see how well the Eagles and the Vikings improved in the offseason. This is going to be a really tough one to call, but I think I am going to give this to the Eagles. Just that Jalen A.J. Brown connection is just, it looks dominant already. So, yeah, I'm giving it to the Eagles, but this could easily swing in the way of the Vikings. Anyway, so there you go, guys. To those who watch these videos, you guys tell me in the comments below who do you think would come out, who do you think is going to come out on top in each of these matchups. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.